Hello YouTube, I'm Jacob from Children of Film. Unfortunately there's not going to be a podcast from us this week because Jaron's come down with a bit of sickness and his voice sounds just awful and we don't really want to subject you guys to that. So as soon as his voice is feeling better, we're going to record and probably get it out around Friday this week and stuff like that. But instead of a podcast, I've got this. I'm going to be talking about a movie I just got to see, and that movie is Ouija 2 Origin of Evil. Now, if you know the first Ouija, it came out in 2014 and it was a horror movie and it was just completely roasted by critics. Like, it was absolutely brutal. I actually never got to see it because of, said brutal critic roastery. But, this movie, it had my intrigue because Mike Flanagan directed it, and Flanagan is a rise and shiner in the horror genre. He made his first movie, well, it wasn't his first movie, but the one that really put him on the map was Oculus, starring Karen Gillan, and it's about this evil mirror, and it wasn't amazing, but it was this effective little creepy horror movie, and it was pretty good. And this year, he's made 3 this year. He came out with Hush, which was really, really good, slasher movie starring his wife, Kate Siegel, and then Before I Wake, which hasn't actually been properly released yet, but I've seen it, and Jacob Tremblay, that kid, is fantastic in it. But Mike Flanagan, he makes horror movies with heart, and that's what I like about him. He focuses on character rather than just building cheap jump scares and everything, because the worst thing about horror movies today is just lazy filmmaking, like, blah, oh no, it's just your friend behind you, it's not actually something scary. What Flanagan does is he creates scares without making a huge deal about them. He knows how to craft a good jump scare. He puts scary things on the screen without accompanying a loud noise, just to, because a jump scare like that drains all the tension out of a scene. But Ouija Origin of Evil, it's a sequel to the first one, but really it's a completely different movie. It obviously follows the same thing of characters playing with a Ouija board and things going wrong, but it's different characters, different storyline to the first one. There are some loose connections, but I won't spoil them because it does connect to the first one in some ways, but the movie doesn't rest upon that. This is its own movie, and it stars I think it's Elizabeth Reese as the main character, and she's a mother, and Annalise Basso plays her daughter. She was also good this year in Captain Fantastic, and I believe she was the little kid in Oculus as well. And they're this family, and they scam people. They scam people with their palm readings and stuff. She's like a fortune teller, and they scam people into thinking ghosts are real. But then one day they get a Ouija board, and of course things start happening. The plot, I don't have to describe the plot to you. It's the plot of every horror movie. Family start seeing demons, and their house becomes haunted and stuff, and that's pretty much it. It's a simple plot, but I like this movie because it's effective. It's an effective horror movie. Henry Thomas is in this as well, Elliot from E.T., and he's pretty good in it. He plays this priest that's sort of friends with the family and comes and helps them out and stuff, and his character gets more involved, and I thought he gave a really, really great performance in it, and it made me want to see more out of him. But he was probably the highlight of the movie for me. But what's good about this movie is that it doesn't blow its load too early with the horror elements. As the great Chris Stuckman said, horror's like sex, don't blow your load too early, because it's a build-up. The movie takes its time to set up the characters, and while they are kind of generic characters, and, you might not relate to them, the movie at least takes its time so that you're invested in them and you care about them before shit goes down. And of course shit goes down, and it's effective. He uses a lot of practical effects with the monster, like Doug Jones is in this, and he plays a monster. And overall, I'd just say it's a fun old school horror movie. And I say old school because they have the really old 1960s Universal Studios logo come up at the start, and the movie has these burn marks at the top of the screen, because back in the day, I think it's when they change reels or something like that, there's burn marks at the top of the screen. Those were really, really cool, and the title cards were old school. It's got the studio name and everything like that, and I just really thought this was a fun horror movie. I don't think it took itself too seriously, and it felt like a bit of an apology for the first one that was just a lazy piece of shit, again, from what I've been told, because I stayed away from that shit show. But I watched this because of Mike Flanagan, and Mike Flanagan really is the star of the show here. He's 4 out of 4 in my book in terms of his movies. I know he's made others before Oculus, but I haven't seen those. I think they were pretty small. But I can't wait for Gerald's Game. He just wrapped filming on that today, I think, and that's his adaptation of the Stephen King book, Gerald's Game. That looks pretty good too. But no, Ouija Origin of Evil is a damn good horror movie. It has some good performances. It's very, very well crafted, it has some good scares, and it's fun, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's not perfect, it's a very formulaic plot, but really for me, a horror movie doesn't have to reinvent the wheel for it to be good. It just has to entertain me and scare me. And now, most horror movies, we're desensitized these days. It's really hard for a horror movie to actually scare you, but I just look for atmosphere and tension and scares, and this movie gave me all that. 2016 has been a really, really good year for horror movies, I have to say, and I'd give Ouija Origin of Evil a 4 out of 5, and if you have been on the fence towards watching it, go check it out. You don't even have to have seen the first one. It stands on its own as a fun horror movie. And that's all I got to say about Ouija Origin of Evil. Thank you for watching this. There's going to be plenty more of these individual movie reviews that we're going to be doing. And apologies for no podcast this week. We're really disappointed that we couldn't make it happen, but it's going to be a pretty regular thing almost every weekend. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Children of Film. Plenty more content to come. And if you just enjoy hearing about movies.